Okay, so if you hear a little bit of music in the beginning, that's not me, that's just a guy called Bo Beats, and he's giving a demonstration of various presets on a Korg wave station. I'm not sponsored or endorsed by Korg, and other synthesizer manufacturers are available, but I do happen to like Korg. But anyway, today I thought, you know what? Well, first of all, let's just have a shot of the sun, and look at that. We got one orbit, we got another orbit, we got that orbit. That is a thing of beauty. But let's go and pay a visit to the gas giant, because I'll come back to that planet in a bit. But for the moment, let's just go over there. And can I zoom in? Now, how do I land on this? Do I land? So I think this is as close as one can come to land, and oh, look at that. Star just brushing over the horizon. Okay, so this is a gas giant. There it is, just an atmosphere of gas. So in the transportation menu, there is an orbital collector, which the orbital collector can only be built at the equator. Alright, so we got to find the equator on this. I'm kind of at the equator. There we go. There's an equator. So off it goes. And there's our Cloud City.
You have built an orbital collector, which can collect the resources of this gas giant automatically. The logistics vessel will come to pick up the cargo as long as you set these resources as interstellar demand at other sites. Furthermore, to maintain the collector working, the collected resources will be transferred to energy in the first place.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm actually, they have a Discord, these chaps, so I might just got to go in there. It's like, look, I can see what you're trying to say, but guys, let me do the translation for you. So I can't have any local vessels here. All right. Well, in which case, let's just too close to another logistics thingy. So let's put another one. Hello there, Top Cat, my #1 fan. I'm still doing this. I probably will be playing this game until I get my Dyson sphere, and you can win the game. I looked in what is the end game of this, and the end game is you need a Dyson sphere in order to accumulate loads of energy, and then when you have loads of energy, you can build a computer which will unlock the secrets of the universe, which needs a lot of energy. So yeah, I'm just building these orbital extraction facilities, and it's going to extract hydrogen, and it's going to extract deuterium, and when you can combine hydrogen and deuterium, you can do nuclear fusion. So that's going to help later on. That certainly is going to help later on. But just for the moment, let's just do this. Too close to another one. Alright, so I mean, goodness, I mean, a gas giant is a pretty large thing, so how many of these can I build before I don't know. But either way, it seems like my construction drones, they're all a bit busy. So let's fly back and see what they're doing. Don't want to lose them in the atmosphere of this gas giant. Oh look, there's one. It's coming in. Dock flies off. Oh, there's another one. And I think I can see a line of them now. There it is. Alright, so let's just fly over here. And off it goes, builds that. So we can see here it's accruing hydrogen much faster than it is accruing deuterium. But that's pretty cool, right? So let's just go over, and yep, there's one. He's left the hangar or whatever it is. There's another one. And there's a third one. Hopefully all these drones will come. I don't think you can lose a drone, so I'd be very curious to see if I had them all deployed, and if I took off from the planet, would they follow me through space? And the answer to that is, I don't really know. And that's it. That's all the orbital collectors I've built. So what we got? Well, that's fairly sizable. So we got it on one side of the planet. So let's just go back there. There's construction drone. There it is. And off it goes. It's building another one. Right, so those ones aren't on my person at the moment. So if I take off, and there's the moon, Kelb 2. So let's just accelerate towards it. There we go. And now if I look on my mecha, I've got 1 of 7. So, they do not follow you. Does that mean I have to go back to the planet? Alright, I've got to go back to the gas giant. And it was on the night side, so let's go to the night side. Ah, there they are. Faithfully waiting for me. Right. So we go to Kelb 2. Now, I want to get the next level of research, and to get the next level of research, one will need purple science, which I do not yet have. So, let's see. I've got that as fuel. Okay, so just pop those in. And let's recharge as well. And as you can see, look at that. We can see most of it's coming out from Kelb 3. I'm going to go to Kelb 4. But I came back on this planet for a good reason. Here I have a fractionator. It takes hydrogen, and there's a 1% chance that the hydrogen's actually deuterium, so there it is. So if I go transport, we'll have an interstellar one. Like so. Yeah, I'll do it there. So let's pop in some of the shuttles and long-range shuttles, like so. Now, we take in... well, it doesn't need to be a fast one because it's not making much deuterium. So the first thing you're going to provide is deuterium, and that's available for local supply as well as remote supply. Then I will take in a splitter, so like so. Yep. And you will make that available for hydrogen for export. So we got to specify hydrogen is ready for export, and there we go. And I want that to be the output priority, so yeah, there we go. So all this hydrogen that we've been making is gonna sift into this transporter. Right. Now, where is Kelb 4? Don't know. So there's the planet. That must be Kelb 3. And there's Kelb 4. And it's nearly 3 astronomical units away. Wow. I think... I mean, that's closer than... Let me just have a look at our own solar system. Let me just have a look at Jupiter. See how many AUs Jupiter is from the Sun. No. Eccentric orbit period is 11 years. Where is... Oh, hang on. Focus on this bit. Don't want to overshoot it, that's for sure. So we're coming in now with less than 1 astronomical unit is the distance between Earth and the Sun. So here's our planet with its... It's got plenty of energy, but not much is going on here at the moment. So let me just have a look at solar system AU distances. Let's see if I get like some sort of diagram. So the Mercury is 0.4 AUs from the Sun, Venus is 0.7, Earth is 1, Mars is 1.5, Jupiter is 5.2 AU, Saturn... Is that 9.5? Yeah, 9.5. Uranus is 19.2. Neptune is 30.2. And Pluto is 39.5. So our solar system is significantly more spread out than this one. But anyway, so I'm on this planet. This is the furthest one in the solar system. Or this solar system at least. And not much is going on here. I mean, I have something up there. So let's just fly up there to remind myself, what is that thing and what's it doing? Well, whatever that thing is, it's got no power, so let's give it some power. And oh, look at that, we've not got full satisfaction. So that's not quite fully satisfied. It's got things it needs in it anyway. So I could do some more ray receivers then. There's ray receivers. Let's go to the equator. There's an equator. I think this would be a good place to make purple science, because of purple science I'm going to need high purity silicon, I'm going to need graphene, plastic, and yeah, things of that sort of nature. And it's dark here on this planet. It's dark, it's cold, it's windy. It's just like living in the north of England. Right, so here we are. And we're back to 100% satisfaction. So there's no local power production on this planet. It's all done via power that's being beamed in from our Dyson swarm, which, there it is. So this one, we're going to request hydrogen. So I want a remote demand. And then I want deuterium. So that will be a remote demand as well. So its thrusters, its shuttles are blasting off. So some's coming from Kelb 3, yep, because there's ones on the moon. And unfortunately I can't get closer than that. Well, Calb 3 is just... What, so is there hydrogen on Calb 3? Is that how it works? I don't know. But yeah, they were on Calb 3 and now they've just blasted off. So but this is fun, I think. We've got ourselves... oh, look at that. Look at these stars. 29 light years away. Requires drive engine type 4. Yep. I think I've got drive engine type 1, and I do have warpers. So we'll try warping to a star later on. But yep, there's a whole bunch of them, and they've just gone across the halfway point. But anyway, and so there's more shuttles coming in, and we just got a whole bunch of hydrogen, which is nice. So, is it under production? Production. Miniature particle collider. 2 beams. So let's just build one. And it's saying I'm not allowed to build one. We'll see about that. Oh. Bosh. Bish bosh bosh. That is incredibly loud in my headphones. But yeah, I'm doing this as a sandbox mode because I just thought, you know what? I don't actually want to bother with learning all the ins and outs of the game. I would just like a... well, this demands silicon. Obviously got silicon on this. So local demand of remote supply. So that will actually do something now. So let's have hydrogen come out. So first one, hydrogen. Yeah. Even when it's day on this planet, it's not very bright. So there's a hydrogen. So we go to production. And we'll have one of these, not a fractionator. Let's just build one of these. Alright, so choose recipe. Deuterium. Takes hydrogen, makes deuterium. And it can do strange matter. There's 2 recipes for making deuterium. Okay. I think this is going to have to be similar to a... this is going to have to be a similar one to the oil refineries. So, we choose... Oh, it's got the right recipe in, that's good. Okie dokie, so... hydrogen goes in. Now, there's some Command and Conquer sound effects. If you've ever installed Command & Conquer on DOS, you will be very familiar with that sound. Right, so let's pop those down. And, yeah, so we've got hydrogen, got that. So let's pop this in. And that one's complaining about a lack of power, so let's power that on. We only got 70% satisfaction. And there's a whole bunch of the equator without any ray receivers on it. So let's go over there and let's try and sort this issue out. God, it makes me wince, it's loud. But, you know, that's what we're doing. Like I said, it's a... We're going for the sandbox mode. I can do it, or I can always do another game or actually make a factory to make every facility. But it's not like Factorio. You can't just like personally request all the things you need, which is a bit of a nuisance. Come on, you construction robots. Hurry up. Get back inside. So, if I put these receivers all around the equator, then there'll always be power being beamed in no matter what time of day it is on this planet. Okay, do that, do that. And I think we're good to go now. Right, so here we are. We've got 100% satisfaction, generation capacity of 118 megawatts. I'm sure that'll increase in time, because they say that they do with the receivers. Yeah. Right. And here comes my construction robots. They've just flown back in. And that one is going from one to the other. It's nice that it can go to a facility, but I don't want the output to go into another facility. I just want the output to go onto the conveyor belt. Right, so that's all that. Now let's get some splitters on the ends of these. Yep. Split, split, split. There we go. Let's connect that. Now, so far to me, all of this looks like deuterium. It's all green, whereas hydrogen is blue. At least that's how it's represented in the game. So, this is all filling up with one liquid at the moment. And it's filling up with deuterium, yep. And I don't see any hydrogen coming out, so... Yeah, this particle collider, is converting hydrogen into deuterium. Well, okay, that's kind of cool. So let's just have a look at the shuttles. Okay. So how about some power? We've got thermal power stations. Mini fusion power stations. I lack the item, so I'm sorry guys. I'm having to do this bit again. It'd be very nice if I could just, well, I suppose it's to confirm that the editor's working. I don't want that many, so let's just go with that. Right, so we have some fusion power stations. Okay. So let's just build one. And it says it's got no fuel. I reckon it will take deuterium as fuel. So let's just give that a go and see what happens. So fuel goes there. Nope, it's not having... needs fuel. It will take that as fuel. So what about hydrogen? Would it take a hydrogen fuel rod? Okay, well that's interesting. That's good to know as well. So this is currently producing power from a fuel rod. Right. So, yes, I want titanium. So, can you give me titanium? Request titanium, please. So, remote demand for titanium. And the local shuttles are now flying off to request titanium. There they go. So we should have a flurry of activity. And yes, there's the shuttles from Calfrey, which is quite close. And they're flying towards it. Oh, look at that. Massive fleet. I assume they all got titanium for me. So we'll go here. And we'll have another thing off to the side here. Yep. And that's going to be... this one's going to be our fuel rod producing facility, hydrogen fuel rod. So we'll just do one for the moment. And we want to make a hydrogen fuel rod, like so. And then we need another line coming out. So I was just thinking to myself that another line should have been, what do you call it? It should have been, I could have put them two together like that and I wouldn't have to go around, but that's okay. It don't really matter. So we'll do that. And extend that a bit further. Let's have a look. Where are those shuttles? They're coming now. They are coming. And here's the first one. This one is landing with hydrogen though. So in it comes with some hydrogen. There. And off it goes again. So now, let's see. We do in with that, in with that. So we've got titanium, we've got that. Very nice. And so we got some fuel rods. My inventory is full, so I can't do. Oh. Can I use? Yep, deuterium I can use as a fuel. So let's put some deuterium in there and just burn through that quickly. So there's 10 fuel cells. So now, let's say I want to build one of these. And it's saying there's no fuel. So if I go with hydrogen, and it says it's wrong fuel type. So no, that's unacceptable. Okay. So what do I need for a deuterium fuel cell? You need deuterium, titanium alloy, and super magnets. Oh, bugger me. That's a lot of stuff to build. We'll keep this facility up for a bit. We'll just have that offloading there. It'll make 26 a minute, and this will do 0.75 trips a second. 4, 3, 2. Yeah, that will go faster than the other one. Okay, so great. Let's just have a facility making deuterium. And it will just carry on doing that for the moment. So let's have a look at this purple site. So I need processors, and I need that. Right, so first of all, can I request processors? Let's see if I can request them. So let's request nope, they're not in the network. Okay. What about copper? Copper plate. Can I request that? No, there doesn't seem to be any local copper. Alright, how about copper ore? Have I got copper ore in my thing? Remote demand? Yes, copper ore is in the thing, so I can at least request copper ore. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a smelting facility for copper. We want output number 5, which is copper, like so. And let's just have a look at that, shall we? Yep, plenty of things moving back and forth now, and I assume the red hue of that means that those are all containing copper ore. So copper ore is going to come here. Let's try this. So oh, whoops, nope. Let's set a recipe on that. I want the recipe to be copper. There we go. So now do shift copy these. Let's just do a whole bunch of them. No rhyme or reason. Just do a bunch, and that's all we need. So I'm trying to get to the next stage now, where we make the next bit of science, which is the purple science. So I'll have these go in because I have an abundance of them. And it's another dim day on the Kelb 4, the windy wasteland planet. So, oh, look at that, we just had a whole bunch of them, and yep, there's our copper ore, as requested. So let's get some Tesla turbines and put them here. It is strange hearing sound effects I've heard elsewhere in another game. So they're all making copper, which is very good. So now we'll have a facility for copper. And this is all being powered by the sun, except for the one fusion reactor we have here. But when that runs out of power, then all the power will be the solar panels. See that? Those solar panels, which convert the energy into gamma rays, and then it beams the gamma rays down onto a planet, which is then picked up in turn by a ray receiver. Speaking of beaming power, I need to check my reactor as well, as it's getting low on fuel. Right, that should keep me warm. So let's see, what we're doing here. Yeah, I could just say to this copper is going to go into that distribution facility. Planetary logistics. There we go. Now, off it goes. So this one we got to say, you accept copper ingots and you're going to supply them to anybody that asks. Okay. So now I want to do the same thing here, but with high purity silicon. So we'll take a another line of smelters. So we'll do it like that. And this one will say high purity silicon, please. Oh, you can make but to make silicon crystal, you need high purity silicon. Okay, that's interesting. That I do find interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, it's also interesting. As Spock would say, fascinating. So this output the silicon ore, please. And I'm going to change the supply to a demand for silicon ore. There. Let's go over here to make sure it can actually get at the stuff it needs. How's our power? Well, a generation capacity is 152 megawatts, which is pretty good. So we've got a little bit of power to work with. Excuse me. Oh, wait a second. Yep, that's all good. Let's copy the same recipe. Right, so now we want to pull silicon ore off this line into these smelters. This bit's a pain in the arse. It is tedious having to do so. It would be so nice if it could just say, I'm just going to take a sorter, and you could even sort of say to it, hey, take this sorter, you know, 1, 2 or 3, and it will just do it. I don't like doing this bit. There should be some way of doing the clicking for me. So we'll again go out here and do the same thing, like so. Right, come on, let's get it done. Click, 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 click. Right. Put some power in. So now, what can we do? We could have it... Well, we can't have it go there because that one's full. We can have it go there, yep. So this one, you demand high purity silicon. Ah, do I want to do that? No, I think that's a mistake. So cancel that. Cancel all that. I'm going to leave this gap open because I want it to... I may want to extend the amount of smelters. Who knows? Who knows indeed. Hope it doesn't drag on too much, but we started so we have to finish. I think if we try and do... The problem is it's going to be... It's going to be fun just reading it out and then sort of commenting on things, but I think if you get Donnie, myself and Top Cap, I mean Donnie can read things out very quickly. So we will see. We shall see indeed. Right, so those are those done. There's our high purity silicon and all that sort of stuff. So let's go somewhere else, like, here for example. So I'm just flying here so my construction robots go, oh yes, you want us to build those things, don't you? Yes, I do. So that shows the strength it's receiving is still 100%, that's good. Oh. Trying to slow down, but so here for example, if let's build a planetary thing and see I'm not doing that thing I was doing before. Now let's do the interstellar one because I get a feeling that may come in useful. So the first thing is silicon ore. We're going to do local supply, remote supply. Then high purity silicon, we are going to do local demand but a remote supply. And we're going to put some shuttles in there and some of the local shuttles. Right, and it's saying it's not getting power, so that thing is inadequate to power the thing. But that's doing it, and oh look at that, we have got right up to 100% demand. Okie dokie. And it's probably because of this flurry of stuff that's going back and forth. I mean, there's an example. That is not producing as much, but that doesn't matter. Because the fact is, we need high purity silicon, and we need that because those two together, in fact, if I go here, let's just click on this one for example. We need carbon nanotubes, crystal silicon, and plastic. Right, so if I go back to the other one, what's the other thing? A processor. Well, processor needs circuit boards, which is iron and copper plates, and it needs microcrystalline component, which is high purity copper, and that. So that needs 1 copper, that needs 1 copper, and they need 2, they need 2. I think I know how to do that. So we're going to have circuits and microcrystalline components built in one place, and these in turn will do processors. But first, let's get the local resources. So there's 6, so I'll compress these into 2 belts. So that will be belt 1, and that will be belt 2. Oh, this plant gives me the heebie-jeebies. Listening to that wind over and over, that makes it feel Antarctic. Perhaps that's the idea, because it's like, hey, your planet's far away from the sun and cast long shadows. You'll never be warm on a planet like this, but fortunately our mech is not too bothered about being warm. I think if I had just done that a bit better. Yeah, let's just pull it out a bit more, like so. And we'll do one belt going in, one high-speed belt. Slow belt, and this one that are going in are medium belts, as I think of them. Alright, it's unusual, but there you have it. Well, what if I, instead of that, just make that go one more, so... One more again. No, either way, it's going to be a bit jagged. And then we do one fast belt go in. Which it won't allow me to do. It's not quite lined up. There we go. So now, test the turbine, test the turbine. Like that. There we go, there's the silicon coming out. And that one belt is quite sufficient to output all of that stuff over there. See, it's not even fully compressed, so we're going to do the same over here with this silicon. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that'll go into 2. So there's 1. And that'll take the output of that and that. Yep. And that will take in the output of that and that. Yep. Then we'll do this. Do that. Right, so now let me see. So we'll do medium belts. Goes there like that. And this one, can I make it rise above? No. So where can I put this where it won't be affected? Ah, I see. Let's reorganise that bit again. So do that, that, that. Yep, there we go. Don't try to make it lower just yet. Lower this one. Yeah, like so. And then the fast belt goes from here. Rise up a bit. There and there. Like that. Let's get that powered on. And here comes the first blocks of silicon down that ramp. And joining that one. There they go. So there's our high-speed silicon. And there it is. It's all forming a nicely compressed bout, which is going into there. Jolly good. So, I did say I wanted a local supply of high-purity silicon here. And the reason for that will become self-evident. So, let me see. I want to make electronic circuits. So, electronic circuits and processors, I want to make that all here. And crystal silicon. Well, crystal silicon's the important bit, so maybe that's what I should focus on next. So, out comes high purity silicon. Yep. And production. So I could do that, and then that would go there. Yep. So this one, please choose a recipe. Crystal silicon. Copy, 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 copy. There we go. That's all the smelters I can have from the moment. Could I build more? No, because I lack iron and I lack electronics. Or circuit board as they call it. So. We shall have another one going back. So this bit is all tedious, but it needs to be done. Needs to be done. And you know what? I'm just going to leave that for now. So let's save the game there, because I don't know what's going to happen with the next bit. But let's make sure I've got fuel. Got fuel in my pocket. Yep. So what I'm going to do now is let's blast off into space. And let's see. Beta Reticuli is 2.87 light years away. Well, that looks like a good target. So the drive engine is not high enough. It said something about the drive engine not being high enough. High enough on to turn on the warp. Okay. It's not... Oh, so I think it means I've got to go really fast before I can enable the warp, so it's not high enough on to turn on the warp. Well, don't know what that means. The drive engine level is not high enough to turn on the warp. Right, so I haven't researched a high enough drive to do that. So let's try and get back to... oh dear. Well, there's Calb 4. There it is. Unfortunately, every turn takes energy, and I don't have much of that. Oh, well, that was disappointing. I was going to show you how warp works, but haven't researched that yet. So I guess we need to just muscle on with this. Come on. Ah, bugger, I've gone right past it. Right. Let's give myself some energy. There we go. Now I've got the energy, I can turn around. Let's zoom along. And yep, here's our rather spooky looking green facility with all sorts of things going on there, yeah. So it's just it. Yes, that's right. All the high purity silicon is being shifted and transported over. And then I haven't given it a thing to say crystal silicon, so local supply, remote supply, there we go. Give it a fast belt so it can offload quicker. And yep, so this one's not really outputting much because the belt's fully compressed. That means nothing more can be added onto it. And as you can see, the belt is not compressed there, so they are adding onto it. Okay. So let's just check over these ingredients again. So we need microfibers, which plastics, crystal silicon, and that. Alright, so in this one, I want you to import plastic. Where's plastic? Plastic is that. So remote demand, there we go, plastic's coming in. And I needed, was it carbon nanotubes? I think it was carbon nanotubes. So we'll request carbon nanotubes. So now we should see a flurry of activity, yep. And also coming from Calb3, which is very close. Quite convenient. So now... let me see. That's all the stuff that can be provided there. So we shall have... and this is to make one of the components for it, which is the particle broadband, as it calls it. So it needs all of these bits. Right. Sorry. What looks like fibre optic cable. That one. 2 carbon nanotubes, 2 crystal silicon, and 1 plastic. Okie dokie, I think I know how to do this. So this one is going to be 2 crystal silicon. So we'll get this one, and you're doing particle broadband, they call it, components. Particle broadbands, there we are. So you want 2 carbon nanotubes and 2 of the other one. And here they're coming. They're flying off to pick up more of those materials, and we see a fleet coming there. That's from Calb3, and they're heading towards Calb4. Yep. Right, so the next up is we need carbon nanotubes. This is just like a jigsaw puzzle where you got these pieces and you're putting them together, and I think that's why I enjoy it. So I'll do that there, copy that, rightio, and that's that. So let's copy some more. Oh. No, that's okay, because I can also put Tesla towers at either side. Yes, and we're going to have an output as well. So we'll have an output lane come here, and like so. Yep. So that's good. So this is it will supply these crystals elsewhere, if needed, but it's working as a storage. And if I was to have more facilities to convert high purity silicon into crystal silicon, I could say local demand. So if I ever build another facilities which aren't linked, I could do that. Yeah. Okay. I think that's cool. Right. So let's. Yeah. So again, more of this. Put some music on. What do I mean? Put some music on. I can put some music on right now. I've got music. Let's have some music. What I've done, bait. I tell you what. Let's go with Logan Stumble, but let's play it right from the beginning, where I was fiddling around with a whole bunch of stuff, because I haven't given a proper listen to that since I played it. Logan Stumble, there we go, and so let's play it. I found this bit really annoying, but I enjoyed it. So effectively, what you are listening to now was a warm-up. I know it's repetitive, but I like it. Wasn't sure how I managed to get it to whistle, but that was fun. So this is when I thought to myself, it sounds more interesting if I speed it up, so let's speed it up. And it's where I take the arpeggiation pattern from what I call a canter or a trot to a gallop. I want a large supply of these components. And this is why I want to call it Logan Stumble, because I stumbled on this by accident and experimentation. And here, this sounds much more like the tempo which I used in the actual recording. This sounds pretty close to when I figured it out. Okay, so we got stage 1 of it done. Now we need processors. So we need microcrystalline components. Ah, this is it. Listen to that crescendo. Wasn't that nice? Didn't we all enjoy that performance? I hope we did. I'm going to put a timestamp on this video so that people can say, oh yeah, if you get to about 1 hour in, that's where you hear an exclusive behind the scenes, the extended cut of Logan Stumble. And that's not all, because I had so much fun with that afterwards I thought, let's try that again. So this is Logan Stumble Part 2, the I ran out of energy and it sounds a bit sad version. And that was part 2, so thank you very much to listening to part 2. Yeah, and so that was a nice musical interlude, wasn't it? That was my latest performance, Logan's Run, and didn't he do well? I think so very much. Yes, yes, quite. So now, onwards with the game, and we lack the necessaries to do what we're trying to do here, so I'm going to need iron, and I'm going to need copper, so I can build a smelter. And here comes some copper in. Now, I can take little bits of copper out, like so. Can I just help myself to a bit of copper in that way? No, I can't. Well, oh, I know a way of doing this. Yep. There we go, and then copper will go into that facility. Yep. And likewise, out here is iron ore. Well, I can use iron ore to make iron. So I'll do the same thing over here. And it won't do it without some power, so let's give it power. Right. So there's that. Okay. And let's put in some more fuel. Now, let me have a look. Want smelters. Need smelters. Gonna make me some smelters. And I can't make any more of those because I lack the iron. Right. Help myself to some more iron. And then buildings, smelter, and now I lack the copper. Rightio, well that's so A-OK by me. So now I've got smelters. Let us use the smelters to smelt us some iron ore. Nope. Didn't set a recipe. Honestly, guys, if you can figure out some sort of way to just say, hey look, all of these buildings next to the conveyor belt, I want you to put a sorter next to them to do outputs and inputs. If you could do that, you'll make the game so much better. Because in Factorio, the way you do it is you'd have a blueprint, and then your construction robots would just go, oh yeah, there's a blueprint, I understand that. I'll just do it all for you. So, yeah. Well, Colin, you're almost all the way there. You've got construction robots. You don't build anything by hand. They all go flying out to do it for you. And when it comes to drawing long lines of things, it's good for that. So this is going to be local supply and remote supply. There we go. So that was only temporary, that thing there. So, oh, I cannot dismantle because you lack the space to do so. Right, so now let's just make some of these. Let's try that again. Again. And steel can only be produced in a smelter, but it's nice that I can at least handcraft the alternative, which is what we are doing right now. Right, and here's this thing here, so we'll do that. I'll say go there. And likewise, we've got a whole bunch of iron ore. Well, let's just keep it for now. So, I think before we carry on with doing the rest of it, let's have a look at this thrust. So this needs a processor which we were going to build anyway, and a thruster which takes steel and it takes copper. So if we look at the processor, it needs electronics. So we shall require electronics and copper. Alright, so... well, there's our thing with the copper belt, so we don't need to replicate that just yet. There's our thing with the iron. So... let's have a one come out over here. And we want iron. Keep saying it collides with other objects. Yes. Pop, pop, pop. Stop. Well, we'll just do that. That'll be okay. Alright, so get myself a fabricator. And we want circuits. There they are. Now, and if that's insufficient, I can always do more later. But we'll do a medium line, and that's going to come into here somewhere. So medium conveyor belts. So this is going to be a circuit. There we go. Now, do that, do that. Needs to extend a bit further. Yeah. Like so. Now, let's see. We'll use slow conveyors because it don't make it that fast. And slow sorters. So let's do that as well. And it's unable to output anymore, so right, let's upgrade that. There we go. Let's upgrade this bout again. So there's a nearly fully compressed line of circuit boards going in. Good. So now, let's have a look at this. We need processors and fiber. So what does processor need? Microcrystalline components and circuit boards. Right. We've got microcrystalline components, we have circuit boards. So we have what we need to make processors. And let's just check what's the constituents of that. 2 of each. Okay, so it makes little difference. Well, I'll have 1 each side, yeah. And I can extend that way quite some distance. So this one, circuit boards please. And yes, put it here. So you make me processors. There we go. So now the next thing which needs to come out is microcrystalline components. Like so. Now, do I have the requisite materials to make a one of these? No, because I need processors. Okay. So we'll have a line going in. And the final... Nope. I can't do a line going in there because you've got everything which you can take. I suppose... No, I'm storing iron, so I can't get rid of that. What about... Do I have another transport hub here? Yes, I do. So you're going to accept processors. Right. Let's try that again. In, out, 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 in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and finally out. Right, so now we'll just do the same over here. In, 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 in. No, that was going to be an out. In. No, doesn't want to do it. Lack of item. In. Power. So I want some processors. So I'm just going to have a little storage here, like so. And siphon off some of the belt for me, please. There we go. And they're making... Well, they're not making much because our power consumption, it's limited at the moment. So we've got all these ray receivers, but it's yeah, it's insufficient. And there we go. There's our fusion reactor is out of power. So we do that. I suppose we could have thermal reactors, except I don't have them, so you know what, let's have our fusion reactors in there. And what do I need for a thermal reactor? Well, I can build all of that. So I'll just build us our foot. And so now we're lacking stone, so... There's some stone. And that allows me to build 3 more. So I'll have 27 of them in total. Alright, so... We'll just have it burning hydrogen. Question being, where am I going to put this hydrogen? Yep, and that's taking hydrogen, and oh yeah, that's good. So that'll do it quite happily. And we'll do the same here. We'll just pop a few more down. And hey, I suppose I could put some over the other at the top, because there's hydrogen being used in the particle colliders, aren't there? Yeah, this we'll go and do that. But first of all, we'll just do that. No, there's too many of those Tesla towers in the way. So, 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And we'll do it on the medium conveyor belt, because it's going to be enough. And finding a bit of slow belt over there, like so. burning clean hydrogen imported probably from the moon of Kalb, as well as the gas giant Kalb 2 itself. So yeah, well, look at that. We got ourselves a nice little intrasolar shuttle system there. Very, very nice. That's good. That is good. All right. So coming into land, and then going off. And there's a shuttle. It's landed and it's resting for the moment. So if I look now, we see we got plenty of satisfaction on that. Right, so let's help ourselves to some processors. And the reason for that is so I can make these logistics drones, which I can't make because I need steel and I need copper. Right. So I need steel, I need copper. Well, I've got one more line which can come out. So we'll have iron come out there. There we go, there's our iron. And there's a bit of fuel into the fire. I lack stone, I lack circuits. Okay, so let's just have a little siphon for circuits. Let's complain about lack of power. So there we go, there's some power. Now, need stone, so here's our stone. Smelters. When I can, I'm going to build some more smelters there. Alright. So, let's have a look. Buildings. Smelter. Yep. Eight, 9, 10. Bugger. I've just done all that. Again, got to set the recipe. And I can't have steel in there, so it's got to go somewhere else. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. Yes. 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. So let's try and get the sorters on them. Right, so that's that. And what's that one? No, can't do anything there. Can't. Can I do anything on that one? Nope. Not yet. No, I can't. Right, so is there... Oh, well, there's this one there. That one's full. Okay, so let's just... We'll do another interstellar hub. That looks like a likely target. Like so. And pop that there, pop that there. So you are taking steel and you're supplying it. So I can put some of those in, but I don't have the drones. So yeah, there we go. There's plenty of steel coming in. Let's duplicate this as much as it can. Lack of item. Yep. Because we need more of that high purity silicon. Yes we do. Just a little jump. It's nice that jumping is a feature. In fact, the more I play this, the more I start realising, like, these are features I'd like in Factorio. The ability to jump over buildings and fly about. I mean, a lot of it can be done with mods, but yeah. So there we go. That's improved the production of high purity silicon. We'll see high purity silicon flying there, copper flying there. Right. So what do I need for these logistics drones? Components. A drone. Thruster. What does a thruster need? It needs steel. It needs copper. Okay, so again, I'll make myself a siphon so I can have some steel. Do it there. And I've collected all the steel that was in there. Okay, that is good. So now I have all the materials necessary to build legit... What you say? I don't lack... I lack copper. Alright. Well, there's copper. Right. Now I can build these. 83. So what do I lack now? I've got steel, I've got that. When you're in love with an African American woman, no one else can satisfy you. When you're in love with an African American woman, no one else can touch your thigh. So there's 88. I want another 12. I lack iron, so I need iron. Alright, so make myself yet another siphon. Okay, so I got my logistics drones. Good. Now, I have processors, I have particle fibers, so I have all I need. Yep, that's right. I've got all I need to start building some of these things. So this one, I'm going to demand particle fibers, particle broadbands as they call them. So local demand, yeah, and this one processors, local demand, like so. There we go. And let's build them. So finally, we use the research building, like so. And oh wow, they can be stacked up quite tall. And we want you to produce that. There we go. So we're going to do one going each side. So we'll do that for the fibers. And then we're going to do another one for processors. Yep. Right, and then I'm going to have 2 stacks of these, which will become evident soon as to why. No, you don't need to do it, so don't do it. And we'll have a slow conveyor belt, like so, going in, and this one, information matrix, you are going to do remote demand. No, sorry, remote supply. So if people from other places call for, from other planets call for it, you will, I say people, if buildings from other planets call for it, you will provide them with what they need. So there we go. It says it will make 6 a minute, but there's a stack of, what, 10? So it'll make 60 a minute. Pop that out there. And there we go, there's our 6 a minute. So, yeah, we're going to duplicate that. I don't think I can have it so close, so... And there's 9. So the other one had 10, 11. So these can go 11 tall. Oh, that's good to know. So put one there. Put one there. Do that. Likewise do that. Oh, and yeah, I need to copy the recipe. Paste, there we go. And so now we see we've got plenty of the fibres, but not many of the processors. So there comes a bunch of processors coming out. So what can we do as to processors? Well, we could just build it. We could increase this line of processors, yeah. So let's do that. Right, surely that's got to make a big difference. And let's go there. Just go over here. Zip, zap, zoop. Right, and then let's load on up on these things. Likewise, do the same over there. And now we use the slow sorters to extract these out. Of course, I do have a production of it going, but a lot of it's going into storage at the moment, so it's not really of benefit. And there we go, so that's all chunking away. So if we come over here, we see that, yep, not much is getting past this bit. But that's okay. I think I like that. So this siphon is just going to keep on working. Then once that fills up, we'll have plenty of it going to be available in the logistics network, which, as you can see, it's doing something. But it's sort of doing drips and drabs, and what I prefer it to do is say minimum load for the drones. Let's put it at 90%. And, oh, max charging power, I can increase it. Yeah, okay. Do that. So does that mean I can do the same with these interstellar ones? Max charging power, yep, 300 megawatts. It's got 12 gigajoules of radio waves which will not behave. I like that joke. I should watch T-Lab 2021. We are now in 2021. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. So there came out a long spurt of processors, and we go here. We see that it's filling up nicely. So yeah, this is doing pretty much all we want. We see if we go back to this transport hub, it's got a little bit of information cubes in storage, and let's say minimum load of drones. Let's say 90% as well on that one. So that's doing local demand. That's doing local demand. Yep, that's all hunky dory. That's local supply, and that's also remote supply. Yep. Okay, so let's get back to Cal 1, shall we? And now with all these ships going back and forth, it makes it easier to find where the planets are, because you just got to follow the trail of ships. So right, that's as much power as I've got for now. Hydrogen, plastic, very nice. Shows what they got inside them. Iron ore, copper ore, hydrogen, plastic. Oh, I see. I'm not. It's only when I use the movement keys do I change vector. I suppose that makes sense, really. What about that? What's that? What You're just a logistics vessel, so you're empty. You haven't got anything inside you. Okay. Ah, this is the South Pole. So things here are a bit busier, which is to be expected considering all the work I've done. Now let's get to here. I don't think I can build a fourth ring, so let's see if I can go and build a fourth ring inside. Right, now I'm going to have to feed that from the outside. Right, there we go. Now, make this go down. And do I have any... Well, there's one, but we need an interstellar one. So, transportation, hub, interstellar, and do it with one of these little Fermi pads, Tesla coils. And we want you to... no. I want you to import these, so remote demand. And there we go, we've got a shipment of 300 from Calb 4 already on its way. So, excellent. It'll take a while to get here, but it will get here. Oh, and that doesn't connect. Of course not. Right, so that's connected. And let's put some of that in there. And we don't have any logistics drones, but I can build logistics drones by hand. I can build a maximum of 33. I can't need more thrusters. To make thrusters I need copper. Right. I can't get copper from there. So, but I could siphon copper. So let's again do a... I got rid of this because I was using it as a buffer, but now actually I'd quite like it as a... so I just need a little bit of copper so I can do some handcrafting. Aha, let's just put all three in. There we go. And this copper vein is almost depleted, but not quite. Right, so now, how many more of those can I build? Not many, but I can build some. I've got 51. Okay, that's just enough to fill this on. And oh look, we're just in time to see the first shipment of information cubes, purple science, come out. Well, that is a result. That is certainly a result. So now we've done that, we'll get some of these inserters. Do that, do that. There we go. Upgrade that one to a blue one. Lack items. And there we go. That's as much purple science as they got for the moment. There's there's a few in there. I'm sorry, do you have any purple science? Says you don't. You've got 6. So there's another 300 in transit. Right, so this is great. We've now got what we need for look at that. We've got a nice trade triangle going between all of them. So when's this next shipment of purple science coming in? Well, in the meantime, we could always queue up some research. So I want the drive component. What's this? Wave function interference, which unlocks a plane filter. Alright. It doesn't say what we need that for. Well, that goes on to make a quantum chip. Yeah, but what's that quantum chip for? It goes for quantum printing technology for an assembling machine Mark III. Okay, that's cool. What about this? Vertical launching site. This we need because this does things what we need for making a Dyson sphere. Dyson sphere stress it. No latitude limit. That needs green science. Alright, so where's green science then? Hang about. I don't see green science here, so where is that? You got that, yeah. Oh, there it is. So green science is that one. So we need to do that one, and then that one's done. So we'll do a quantum chip. So it only takes 200 information science, which we've got. And very soon, once these all deplete, I'm going to just say it all comes in there and offloads like so. But yeah, so let's do this first bit of research. And as you can see, some of them are working, because some of them got purple science, the rest of them not so much. But 300's on transit, so that's not bad. And we'll say, let's have a lot more charging power. And yeah, we see we're struggling now because I've told it to, like, please give me as much power as you can. And it's trying. And there we go, it seems to have calmed down a bit now that all of these stations have got their requisite power. So, what is we got? Well, there's a shuttle coming in, and that's coming into that one over there, so that ignores that. When's one coming over here? So, it's sent off one of its own shuttles to Kelb 4 to pick up some information science. And that's it. The rest of them, they're going to be quite quiet for the moment. So we're looking for logistics vessels flying in from the other and I assume those are going to be little ones flying to and from the gas giant, which we might see. I mean, this one's going to the gas giant. So it's coming to land, and it's refueled. It's taken off, and off it goes towards Kelb 4. Yeah, because that's where the demand for hydrogen is. And so there's another consignment of that. Yep, and we see all the shuttles have landed in place. So this is going to take another 50 seconds, and I'll have researched my first purple science technology, which, gotta admit, I'm quite happy about this. So let's do some more. I apologise for the harsh noises, but I'm going to upgrade these belts whilst I'm at it. There we go. We now have some belts. And whilst I'm at it, some more logistics drones will come in nice. There. So now do that. You have researched the wave function interference blah 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 blah, which blah 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 blah. So I went to all the effort of writing that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not reading it. Much like the Brutus Diaries, which you will get to hear at 7 o'clock Saturday night. It's going to be on Top Cat's channel. So, yeah, if you're not subscribed to Top Cat, he's in the chat. Say hello to him. Oh, you can't click on the link on people's names anymore. Yeah, thanks for removing that feature, YouTube. Yeah, it's not as if people were using that for anything. So anyway, we got that in, and can I? Sorry. I'm gonna magic up some of this. Inventory is full. Yes, I know it is. So if I go here, and then do that, won't let me, because why would you? Why would you? Why on earth would you do anything which makes sense? There. And needs power. Oh no, look, we've got ourselves loads of purple science. Well, isn't that convenient? It sure is, buddy. It sure is. Oh, look at that. There's just an orchestra of solar panels being ejected into space. But soon it's going to be more than that. 625 megawatts. Not yet a gigawatt of power, but it's getting there. So this is our thing, yeah. We see, got a shipment of transit of 300 in transit, yeah. So now, let's do some more research. Quantum chip. Pew 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 I say. Pew 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 pew. Oh yeah, that's the point. I want some more of these matrix buildings. I need glass. In order to make them, you're going to need some glass. So you are. Oh yes, you are, boy. You get some glass. Glass in you. Get some glass. You have unlocked the quantum chip. That's very good. The quantum chip is now yours. You may now proceed with the quantum chip. What am I lacking? I'm lacking iron. Well, still got a bit of iron over there. So now let's see if 12 is enough to fill out these. Ah, okay, that's a big difference. So now if I look at my planet, the North Pole, as you can see, is quite a significant structure indeed. And it's going to take a while to get stuff all the way to the top there. I can't even click that far. I actually have to be flying in order so that I can see what's going on in the one on the top. But that's okay. Yep, another shipment of 300 coming over. And that's everything there done. So now I've got that research. Let's research the gravity matrixer, which will take 1 minute and 45 seconds. Cool. So whilst it's busy doing that, can do a quantum printing technology, a vertical launch site. And let's go to upgrades. Universe exploration 3. Able to view the vein reserves in planetary systems within 6 light years. Nice. So I can actually start seeing Mecha Core Type 4. And greatly increase the upper limit of Mecha Core energy. Yep. And I need to do that in order to... Oh, well, I can increase the solar cell life. Ray transmission efficiency. Cargo stacking. Oh, and that's my queue. That's full now. Okay, so... all of these technologies, I think, is time for another day. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy Logan Stummel Part 1 and 2.